When the Mesopotamian goddess of love was stripped naked, executed, and hung on a meat hook in the underworld, the entire physical universe began to die. But this was not a tragic accident of fate. It was a calculated, suicidal heist planned by Ishtar herself to conquer the realm of the dead. Ishtar was the queen of heaven, the fierce goddess of sex, fertility, and warfare, ruling over every spark of desire in the mortal realm. Yet, her immense celestial power stopped at the borders of the great below, a dreary subterranean wasteland ruled by her bitter older sister, Ereshkigal. Driven by an insatiable hunger for supreme dominion over both life and death, Ishtar decided to cross the threshold into her sister's silent kingdom. Before leaving the heavens, she whispered a secret rescue protocol to her loyal minister, Ninshubur, anticipating the horror that awaited her. If she did not return within 3 days, Ninshubur was ordered to raise a lamentation to the high gods and beg for a divine intervention. Decked in her finest royal regalia, wearing her crown, her lapis lazuli necklace, and holding her rod of power, Ishtar marched to the gates of the dead. When she arrived at the outer portal of Kor, she banged on the heavy doors and threatened to shatter them if the gatekeeper did not let her in. She screamed that she would release the dead from their tombs to eat the living, causing a swarm of zombies to outnumber the earth. Hearing the commotion, Ereshkigal, queen of the underworld, grew pale with fury and ordered her gatekeeper, Neti, to admit the intruder on one condition. Neti was instructed to subject Ishtar to the ancient, unyielding laws of the underworld as she passed through its 7 terrifying gates. At the first gate, Neti stopped Ishtar and demanded she hand over her magnificent golden crown, saying it was the custom of the land. When Ishtar protested, Neti coldly replied that she must submit to the ways of the great below, where earthly status means absolutely nothing. At the second gate, her lapis lazuli measuring rod was seized, stripping away her divine authority to judge and rule. At the third gate, the gatekeeper stripped her of her double strand of lapis lazuli beads, leaving her neck bare and vulnerable. At the fourth gate, the breastplate that protected her heart was unclasped and taken, removing her emotional armor. At the fifth gate, her golden ring of power was pulled from her finger, rendering her magically impotent. At the sixth gate, her royal breast ribbon was untied, stripping her of her alluring femininity and maternal grace. By the time she reached the seventh gate, her final garment was torn away, leaving her utterly naked, cold, and physically powerless. This systematic stripping was not just a humiliation. It was the symbolic dismantling of her celestial divinity, piece by painful piece. Naked and weaponless, Ishtar was dragged before her sister Ereshkigal and the 7 dread judges of the dead, the Anunnaki. Without hesitation, the judges cast their eyes of death upon her, and she was struck with 60 agonizing diseases from head to toe. Her corpse was then callously hung from a heavy iron peg on the wall, left to rot like a carcass in a butcher shop. But as soon as the goddess of love drew her last breath in the underworld, a horrific cataclysm struck the surface of the earth. Without Ishtar's presence, the life force of the cosmos came to a sudden, grinding halt, as if a master switch had been flipped. Bulls refused to mount cows, rams turned away from ewes, and wild beasts lost all desire for companionship or mating. In human cities, husbands turned away from wives, lovers grew cold to one another, and all passion was extinguished overnight. No crops sprouted from the dry soil, no babies were conceived, and humanity faced the quiet prospect of total, bloodless extinction. On the third day, the faithful minister Ninshubur realized that her queen was dead and initiated the desperate backup plan. She put on mourning clothes, beat the drums in the temples, and pleaded with the high gods to save the queen of heaven. While the older gods refused to interfere in the absolute laws of death, Enki, the god of wisdom and water, realized the universe was doomed. To bypass the rules of the underworld, Enki fashioned 2 genderless creatures, the As-Yushunamir, from the dirt beneath his fingernails. Because they were neither male nor female, these creatures were immune to the laws of life and death, allowing them to slip past the 7 gates unnoticed. They entered Ereshkigal's palace and found her groaning in labor pains, suffering in sympathy with the barren, dying earth above. By soothing the queen's agony with beautiful songs, the creatures pleased her so much that she offered them any gift they desired. They immediately pointed to the rotting corpse hanging on the wall and demanded the body of Ishtar. Using the water and food of life provided by Enki, they sprinkled the corpse, and Ishtar miraculously opened her eyes and stood up. But the underworld demands a life for a life. She could only ascend to the heavens if she provided a substitute to take her place. This myth is a profound reminder that life and death are not enemies, but two halves of a single cosmic cycle.